So welcome everyone to Frequency Soul Collective. Beck McQuilty here. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for joining us on Monday Night Training. Tonight we are focusing on magnetic momentum, harnessing frequency to build a thriving business. It's really interesting. I kind of want to speak into it a little bit before we're going to get into some announcements, and then I'll get into the training aspect of it. But energies have been like really all over the shop for a little while, and I've kind of questioned what's happening with the energy on the planet, and as far as particularly when it comes to momentum. And I feel like everything that when it comes into your awareness is shown to you for a purpose, and not everything is yours, and not everything do you have to set your energy to. So I think it's really important. We're going to talk a little bit about this tonight, is really focusing on what you allow your focus to be from an energetic perspective. So, because remember, what you focus on grows. And so I've kind of felt into, I could see momentum coming, but I couldn't feel it yet. And, I think when you're on a journey of any business, there's ups and downs, and, there's bumps in the road, and there's potholes and all of the things. And I think it's not so much the potholes or any of the things that happen, it's how you navigate it all. And so I think that when you really focus on what it is that you're wanting to create, and we do a lot of that in the super conscious work that we do on the last Saturday of every month, which we'll also talk about in a minute. When you keep your focus really solid on what it is that you're choosing to create, then nothing else can really get into the way of that. So, and I love that just so much. So, let's just go through some announcements first, and then we're going to get stuck into training. Okay, so here are some updates and reminders. These are updates that we will go through generally every week. They will, swap and change and whatever, but it's really good just to remember what is happening. So our live Day of Discovery in Utah is September 12 and 13 coming up. We would love, love, love to have a bunch of our Aussies there. I feel like the Aussie list is growing every single year. And as people even dare to even talk to me about Utah, I just sign you up. I'm like, yep, come on, you're coming with us. You've got to. Amanda 80, like I know she's on the call tonight. She's 100% committed now. And that was all from a conversation of her saying, maybe I will. And now I've just told her she's coming. So it's as simple as that. So you too can just have a quick convo with me and be coming to Utah. So no, I'm just joking, but we would love to have you there. I remember Sheila Day, Dr. Sheila Day. She's one of the incredible doctors over in the US. I remember she joined Solex kind of just to utilize the software because she saw how phenomenal it was. And she lives like a long way from Utah, and she actually drives. So she takes a 14-hour drive to actually get to Utah. And she did it this one time. She didn't know anybody. She gets there. She does the 2-day conference, and it changes absolutely everything for her. Since that day, she committed to building her business, and she's now a Pearl leader in Solex. And so just from attending conferences, and I'm sure that you've heard this before, but it really does change everything. It really can do. And so I really recommend for those of you who are not even necessarily serious about building a business, but just serious about learning and wanting to be around like-minded, positive, amazing people, this is something you really want to get to. I'm pretty sure that I won't be hosting a Day of Discovery Australia this year. I probably, to be honest, in all honesty, shouldn't have done it last year with the amount of, personal stuff I had going on, but I didn't kind of want to let anybody down, and I wanted to try to do the right thing. And it was an amazing event, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think we're going to sit this year out probably. Also, too, for those of you who might be running for the Caribbean trip, this is your first month to qualify. You do need to qualify for 3 months in a row. and end of August is your last month to qualify. So if you haven't qualified yet, you need June, July, and August with your growth of 15 new people, whether they be PCs or QLAs. To be honest, it's an easier qualification when you are new and you have momentum and you have a whole heap of people to reach out to, or even if it's just something that you're wanting to seriously grow your business, you can definitely achieve this. I am going for it, but I am a very far behind at the minute. So we'll see. Maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't, but I'm going to give it a good crack. Our June incentive, when you bring on a new QLA with a bundle, or PC for that matter, with a qualifying bundle, they will actually receive the Think capsules. I'm so used to saying Think drops, but the Think capsules. So the Think capsules are an NRF2 activator. These are amazing. I actually take these, but I also, well, I actually do it in the drops, but I also do still take an NRF2 activator. So I just don't take them at the same time. I feel like they are a little bit different in product, but I do equally love both. So that's just some little reminders for you. This Saturday afternoon from 4 till 6:30, we have a frequency immersion. Not just for practitioners, but also for anybody who is like-minded. We are going to be hosting this at the Mooloolaba Wellness Collective. And so that's, oh, it says Sunday. Hang on. Maybe I got my, oh, okay, that tile's wrong. But it is Saturday, the 28th at 4 p.m. So the exchange is $29. We will have a phenomenal sound healer there. People will also receive their inner voice tunes. We're going to have the chakra mat, a whole heap of really beautiful experiences. So if you know anyone on the Sunshine Coast, please encourage them to come along. We do have really limited numbers, so we do need to make sure that people are 100% booked and committed to coming. So, but we can pop that up in the Education Hub as well. For those of you who are interested from a leadership perspective, we have a leadership group. So if you're looking at leadership development, please feel free to reach out to the person that you're working with and ask them if they can add you to this group. Or if you don't have someone that you're working with, please feel free to reach out to any of our leadership team. We would love to have you in our leadership development group. We just do one call a month. We've had some really incredible speakers on those trainings. We've had our CEO, Kai Larson. We've had our head of field development, Shelby Larson. We've had Rob Stewart from head office. We've had Simon Chan, who is one of the top network marketing trainers in the world. We've had the incredible James Yates, he's now a private business owner in the wellness space, but has a lot of experience, not only in the industry, but also from a training perspective as well. So we've had some really incredible speakers, and this Wednesday morning, I was going to say Thursday, Wednesday morning, we have this incredible training happening for our leadership development team. So please reach out if you would like to join in on that. Then on Saturday, we do have so ignore this Friday unless you're over in the US. It is Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Queensland time. This super conscious training is absolutely phenomenal. If you truly allow yourself to engage into this training, and it's not really one of those trainings you can kind of jump on and, you know, be cooking and doing the dishes and running the errands and all of the things whilst doing this training. I really honestly feel like to give the training its full and to receive the most that you possibly can out of it, really dedicate your own time and space to this training for you to be able to really enjoy it. There's meditation that goes with it. There has not been one of those trainings that I haven't had a massive aha moment from. So it really is worth your time. to commit to actually taking the hour on that Saturday morning to really engage in that. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see a lot of you there. We'll have it's not on our Frequency Soul Collective Zoom link. It is on a separate Zoom link. So you do need to register for that call. So we'll have those details out to you really soon. This is a collaboration that we have made with the Superconscious Sisterhood. It is open to men and women. They do specifically in their group have women, but it's definitely open to men and women. And I genuinely think you will get a lot out of it. Don't forget, we have our Bali retreat coming up at the end of August. We do still have a couple of spots left, literally only a couple. So it's selling out super quick. We're really excited for this. I cannot wait to get back to Bali. I just love this place so much. But what I love even more is what we are going to be bringing to you in this incredible 5 days. So if you're sitting on the fence or you're not sure or you're thinking about it, please reach out because I really do think this is, well, I don't think, I know this is going to be super, super powerful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about business. And I think the first thing I wanted to share with each of you tonight was who we are. So, at the heart of the Frequency Soul Collective is a deep belief in the power of connection, collaboration, and alignment. We are more than a business network. We are a family of like minded souls passionate about raising the vibration of the world. Our collective unites purpose driven entrepreneurs who are committed to helping others thrive through innovative tools, frequency based solutions, and a heart centered approach to living. Now, that is a pretty big, bold statement. And I have to be honest with you, after my coaching today that I had from a very, very powerful coach, that I needed a session to clarify a few things. And one of the biggest things that she actually really spoke into today for what we were referring to and talking about was not only that connection in business, the boundaries as well, but also that safety and that co-creation and that hub that we are creating so that you know that you are loved and supported and cheered on in this space, because that is truly what we have worked really hard to create. Now, there will be times, yes, that we get a little bit off center, that something might happen within any business, and it doesn't matter what business it is. But it's not so much what happens in that space, it's what we do with it. And if there's one thing that I will always be extremely passionate about is making sure that our team are aligned and feel safe in their businesses. And so, whether that be conversations that you're having, whether that be that you're at events or whatever the case may be, we want you to always feel safe. Um, and that might sound like a strange thing to say, but I think in any workplace, you can come up against things, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be a big thing, and it's different personalities too, but it's about being able to be respectful of each other and be respectful of each other's businesses. And I think when we have a similar goal in mind, like not all of our goals are going to be the same, but when we understand our mission and our vision of what we're creating here as a collective, you will find that, particularly if you're here for business, you might bring people in that, might tell you all the things. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to be a big business builder. And then maybe they do nothing. And that's okay. Or you might bring someone in who, seems like a really amazing person, but may not have that behavior. So it's like talking all the talk, but not having the right behavior, right? But please know that these things are brought to you or to us to show us and to teach us. And will all of those people stay? No. And that's okay. It's not going to be for everybody. But I think the more we talk about what we do and how we do it, and we speak into our vision and our mission, that is when we are going to truly attract the people that we want to attract into our business. And when you don't attract those people sometimes and you think, how did I attract that person into my business? Because they're really not my vibe. Remember, that is just giving you clarity of the contrast. So it's giving you the clarity of what you don't want, right? And we need that in life. You can't have this phenomenal, abundant, amazing, incredible life without seeing the contrast. So just remember, that's all that the universe is showing you. So our mission is to provide you with holistic support mentoring and tools that you need to build a business that not only transforms the lives of your clients, but also brings you into alignment with your highest purpose. We believe that success is about more than numbers. It's about feeling fulfilled, inspired, and empowered every single day. As part of this tribe, you will have access to a supportive community that uplifts, encourages, and celebrates your journey. And that's what we really want to encourage, is for you to be a part of that amazing experience, because that's what we're creating here as a collective. So I hope that that resonates, and I hope that you love that as much as we do. So let's talk a little bit about mindset and mission clarity strategy. So your mindset really shapes your reality. And to strengthen it, begin by creating space each day to check in with yourself. Ask yourself these questions. And, if you've got a notepad and pen tonight, you're taking notes, I really encourage you to write this stuff down, because these are questions that you can then reflect on, truly answering for you. So, what lights you up? And it may not be the frequency technology or the supplements. It may not even be that. You might love it, but it's not really what lights you up. And I have to be honest, it's not what lights me up. I love it. I love the technology. When I first saw it, I knew we had to have this. I just knew that so many people out there needed this. So if it's not the frequency technology that lights me up, what is it that lights me up? What lights me up is empowering women. That is my absolute passion and purpose on this planet. But I can do that with the assistance of our frequency technology. If I can empower someone to take back ownership of their health and their wellness, whether that would be with the technology or supplements or whatever that looks like, with the amazing tools that we have access to, if I can make a man or a woman feel empowered to empower themselves to lower their stress levels, so that they know that they deserve to have rest and they deserve to have calm in their life and they deserve just full stop. I can empower them by sharing the tools of what we have. Could be the infinity mat. If I can empower them so that they feel enough to take the time to lay on that mat, then I feel like I've done my job. What brings me joy? That is one of the biggest things when I am educating on purpose. People go, I have no idea what my purpose is. If you can work out what truly brings you joy, what lights you up, what gives you that fire in your belly, and as I say, it may not be the actual, like the company, the technology, and everything that we have. That's your vehicle. But what is it that's in your vehicle that drives you? That would be my question to you. And who are you here to serve? What's your what is it that you think of when I say that? What is it? A demographic? Is it a, it could be it could be a certain area of trauma that you attract, or a certain demographic that you attract for a reason. It could be due to your own trauma. It could be due to something that you've experienced in your life that you're now passionate about. They always say you can't really train on something you haven't experienced yourself. And so, what is it that you've gone through or experienced in your life that then drives you to want to make a change for others, that what you want to make a difference in other people's life, and let that be your driver, and let Solex be the vehicle, because Solex isn't your purpose. Solex isn't my purpose, I can assure you, but it is the vehicle that brings me and fills me with joy when I get to help people. And when I get to help people feel better about themselves and gain confidence and gain self-love and all of the things that we have the ability to do through this technology. So I'd love if you know the answer to what brings you joy, and that might sound like a really simple question, but for some of you, I can guarantee you, some of you won't know the answer to that. But if you do, I would love for you to share it in the chat, because I believe that when we come together as a collaborative on any call, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it from a replay perspective, everything is connected. So what somebody else says, or maybe even what I've said to you tonight so far, might just ignite a thought. It might ignite that little fire in your belly that becomes a bigger fire. So if you know what brings you joy, I would love you to share that in the chat. And I'll have a look in the chat in a sec. I'll give you a couple of minutes. These simple questions unlock powerful clarity. So when you connect with what truly brings you joy, your mission and purpose naturally rise to the surface. And write it down. Speak them out loud. Make choices that align with that inner truth. A focused mind, a joyful heart, and a clear mission creates unstoppable momentum. So I love that. All right, let me have a look at the chat. I love that Amanda's gone back to, I'm reading back through the chat and Amanda's talking about Day of Discovery. Oh, and I think that says she's put her 50% deposit down. I think that's what that says. That's what I'm going to go with. All right. Let me see. All right. What brings you joy? Helping others create and bring something special out of themselves that they didn't know was there. Katie, I love that so much because, our CEO, Kai Larson, some of you may not have experienced, and I should actually get him to record this one day. Maybe I should do an interview with him. That's a good idea. About when I talk to him about his why. And his why, and this is what reminds me of what you're saying, Katie, is his why is to bring out people's genius. He says, because everybody has a genius. And a lot of people just don't even know what their genius is. And I say to people quite often, I wish you could see in yourself what I see in you. Because each and every single one of us has something really, really special and really, really unique that nobody else has the ability to do, that only you can do that. And that's what he loves bringing out in others, that they might even not even know is there. So that's awesome, Katie. I love that. Thank you for sharing. And Fiona says to help others to achieve their optimal health and wellness for the betterment and longevity of their lives. And I love that too, because, this is, people may accidentally live a long life, but who wants to live a long life in pain and suffering and without joy? You think about how many people out there don't have joy. Those of you who, and I'm sure I don't know all of you personally, and I might not know some of you closely, but those of you who do know me closely know that I love having fun. I love laughing. I'm a prankster. I think I'm funny. Like, I entertain myself. I don't need even like encouragement. I can entertain myself like 24/7. But I love it, like I love a good laugh. But I love making other people laugh and seeing other people have a good time, you know? So Bronny says, my joy is experiencing, oh, hang on, I got to scroll back. My joy is experiencing synchronicities of what I prefer to flow in my life, and when I align to the things that bring me happiness and peace, and to share how to do that with others. The gift is often in the giving, and that is so true. I love that too. And that's really when you get that real warm and fuzzy feeling, right? Like even reading that, I can feel that. And Mari says, I help women who silently struggle with emotional exhaustion and who are disconnected from their body, soul, and purpose. You think about how many people are out there like that. There's a lot. And I feel like I was one of them. And I still fall into the trap sometimes. And we're going to speak a little bit into that shortly too, about how we prioritize ourselves, you know, maybe for a period of time and then we drop off, and how important it is to refocus and reset. It doesn't matter that you drop the ball on yourself. I think we all do it. Drop a 1 in the chat if you drop the ball. When it comes to you, how many of you drop the ball? Let's be honest. I'll be sitting in a kinesiology session saying to someone, now, you need to do this and this, and my guidance is laughing their head off. They're like, really? You're telling that person to do that? I'm like, shh. We all do it, right? Yeah. Lots of ones in that chat. We all do it. But the key to it is don't let it go for too long. Because when you let it go for too long, it's harder to come back. It's not to say you can't come back, you always do. Every single time you drop the ball, you come back. Drop a 2 in the chat if you know that. That every single time you drop the ball, you always pick it up no matter what. Sometimes it's the next day. Sometimes it's a week later. Sometimes it's years. But if there's one thing that you know about yourself, every single time you pick the ball up and you start again. Whether that be with your mindset, whether that be with your health, whether that be with your business, whatever that looks like. The key to success is to make the dropping of the ball and the picking it up, the time frame shorter, because the quicker you can do that, the easier it's going to be. All right, so how do we do this? What are we going to look at? Some of the tools here. We have the most powerful tool in our hot little hands. So how can we make changes to not just our business, but our personal life? I can speak from absolute personal experience that I have dropped the ball on not so much my business, but from a health perspective in the last, I'd love to say probably month. And every Monday, those who know me well, every Monday I start again. But let me tell you, when it comes to Sunday, it's not a good day for eating. It's not a good day for, like, I still exercise, I still do all of the things, but the problem is that when you drop the ball, it doesn't matter how you do it, whether it's food, exercise, alcohol, whatever your crutch is, it's like your mindset is so greatly affected instantaneously that the more you do it, the more affected your mindset gets, the harder it is to come back from that. But you have this tool in your hand to help you every single day. So the first thing, and I'm going to share this, I'll share this playlist in our group, is abundance creation. These are the frequencies that I've added. I channeled this one. Well, I channeled most of them, let's be honest. But I channeled this one. So the first one is abundance, wealth, and success. Concentration, determination, and finish. Confidence, self-esteem, and love. Energetic clearing and shielding. Because the thing about it is, you might be feeling okay, but then energies come into your space, right? And if you're not protecting and shielding your energy, yeah, you feel it. You feel it. At least when you're protecting your energy, it doesn't hit so hard, right? Love, forgiveness, and gratitude. Prosperity, complete frequency set. So for those of you who may be new, or you may not listen to the calls necessarily all the time, or might have missed this somewhere along the way, 9 times out of 10, I will always put the complete frequency set frequency into a playlist. And the reason I do that is because this particular frequency is there that if there's something that's of a priority to you that you've missed, it will actually pick it up and send that frequency to you. How clever is the technology that we have? Seriously? Perfect health. Well, who doesn't want that? Relationship enhancement, success, inner peace, accelerated learning, self-confidence and self-esteem, and memory, focus, and clarity. So I will put that playlist in our Frequency Soul Collective chat so that I can share that with you guys, but you can create that. And here is our little gift for you tonight. You don't have to write this down or any of the things. Once we finish the call tonight, I would love for you to pop into the Frequency Soul Collective chat and tell us what your biggest takeaway is from this call this evening. And I will personally send you this Mind Sync. So this is your affirmations that you can put into Mind Sync. And it is particularly around your business abundance. And so being able to go into Mind Sync, you just press custom. I would do 2 minutes because it'll be roughly 2 minutes that it will take. And read these affirmations out. You can back it to music if you like. Let's actually, well, once I've been through this, I might actually have a look and I might just muscle test what the music is. You can muscle test it yourself for those of you who know how to do that. But I can do one as a collaborative, because for those of you who don't know, that this will be easy to be able to just choose the background music. And then when you're reading your affirmations out as you record them, I want you to speak in a really confident manner. Know that nobody else is around to listen to you. No one else is there to judge you, and who cares if they are? There's one thing you're going to learn in life, let me tell you, either the easy way or the hard way. It does not matter what you do. People are going to judge you whether you like it or not. So you may as well focus on you, focus on what makes you happy, and focus on that joy space that we're talking about tonight, and feel into that as you read this Mind Sync, so that when you listen back to it, you don't want to be too fast paced with it. You don't want to be mumbling it. You want it to be really strong. Because even if that's not the way you feel right now, when you listen to that Mind Sync back, and I tell you, if you do this for 30 days, for a month, I promise you everything, so much in your life will change. Everything will change. But you can't chop and change when things aren't working in a time frame that you think that they should. Because this is the universe's timing. This is God's timing. This isn't your timing. And if you think you're powerful and all of them, well, you're not. So you've got to stick with these things until they work, and then keep going. Not chop and change them and do something else because this isn't working. So commit to Mind Sync for 30 days. If you think if you think, there's no such word as thinking, we know, or trying or any of that. If you are going to do Mind Sync for 30 days straight, let me know that you're with me by dropping, I don't know, an emoji in the chat. Throw that in there. I would love that. Drop an emoji in there. Can you commit to 30 days? Because it sounds easy, like, oh yeah, 30 days, that's not very long. But if you record this, just take the time. Like for me, I am renowned to be late to the gym every single day. Every day. I don't even know why I'm late to the gym. Probably because I like to miss the first part so I don't have to do all of the workout. That's probably the truth. But if you commit to doing this every single day, like for me, I go, oh, well, yeah, if I've got time. Do you know what? You will always have time for what you put priority to. Always, always, always. So for me now, this morning, I got up 15 minutes earlier because I was getting to a point where some mornings I wouldn't even listen to my inner voice tunes and I'm just racing off for my day. I know that if I want things to change, I have to change them. It's seriously as simple as that. And you can do that with MindSync. The power of what we have in this technology is massive, massive, massive. You know, some of these, I won't read them all, but some of these affirmations, I am focused, clear, and deeply connected to my purpose. Now, if you don't even know what your purpose is, and you're listening to this in your own voice, I am focused, clear, and deeply connected to my purpose. Guess what's going to happen? Your purpose is going to show up because this is bypassing the conscious mind. This is you saying to your subconscious, I know my purpose. Your purpose will show up. Each day, I take aligned action that moves my business forward with ease. That saying alone is massive. It's one thing to take action, it's another thing to take aligned action on purpose. But even those words at the end with ease makes a massive, massive difference to the energy of how that feels. So rather than saying each day, I take action to move my business forward, versus each day I take aligned action that moves my business forward with ease. And you can read through the rest of them, but I promise you, you pop that in MindSync, it's a whole new world. Now, your routine matters. And again, like I say to you about my routine had fallen off a little bit. I would get up at the latest possible time to go to the gym. I still do the gym. I'm still doing the things, but I'm not doing all of the things. I was listening to voice memos from because you know the US is always up when we're asleep and vice versa. So morning's a really good time for me to talk to all my peeps in the US. So I'd listen to voice memos on the way to the gym. I'd listen to voice memos on the way home. I hadn't listened to my tunes yet. Hey, but I was going to the gym. I was getting a good workout in. But it wasn't helping my mindset. And so if you really want to help your mindset, you must commit to you first. Hop up 15 minutes, half an hour early. What does that morning look like for you? I said to my husband last night, right, I need to seriously shift some mindset stuff. So for the next 30 days, I'm committing to listening to my tunes every day, listening to my mind sync every day. I will read pages of my book. I'm not committing to a lot of pages because I'm just not. But if you know what, if I read 2 pages a day for this next month versus how much I read of my book in this last month, I will be so far ahead. I've literally only read like 10 pages. And I think I did that in like like 1 or 2 sittings. So if I can read my book every day and it's just a couple of pages, I'm going to get through it more and it's going to help me. I have committed to listening to, I love the work of Abraham. For those of you who know the work of Abraham Hicks. Actually, I have their money cards here. Money and the Law of Attraction cards. Sorry, I'm going to pull one while we're talking. And I listen to the work of Abraham every day. I'm committed to that. So I did that. That's what I listened to on the way to the gym this morning. No listening to voice memos, none of that. Not on the way to the gym. I got up, I listened to my tunes, I had my herbal tea, and I was really mindful about what I was doing and how I was doing it. And I was actually really like sitting there enjoying my tunes, and then they finished. And I looked at the clock and I still had a few minutes before I had to leave. So I just sat there with my eyes closed, with no intention whatsoever, really, except silence, which I don't do very often. I don't do silence well, I don't think. And so I just waited to see what dropped in, and it literally no word of a lie, a card just flew out of my deck there. So I'm going to read it to you. And I just sat there with no expectation. I know that if I need a message or something needs to be guided, it will be. Otherwise, actually just sitting with a still mind. And you know what? Well, actually, I tell a lie because my guidance just said you did get something, and they're right. I almost have an attachment to my mind being so busy. It's like that ADHD brain thing that, a lot of us talk about. And it's almost like wearing it as a badge of honor. And it's like, actually, the goal is the opposite of that. The goal is to actually be able to sit in silence and sit in the stillness. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's so true. Isn't that funny that that only just occurred to me now from sitting there this morning? And I might not do it for a long period of time, but the more you do it, for the first however long, you're probably going to hear a lot of chitter chatter and, all the things. But it's like anything that you do, it takes practice and it takes consistency. So I diverse for a second because I was told to. This says, I am a vibrational being in a vibrational universe. You live in a pulsating, vibrating universe of advanced harmonics. Oh my gosh, stop it. Everything that exists in your air, in your dirt, in your water, in your bodies is a vibration in motion. And all of it is managed by the powerful law of attraction. There is nothing that exists outside of this vibrational nature. And as you learn to accept your vibrational nature and begin to consciously utilize your emotional vibrational indicators, you will gain conscious control of your personal creations and of the outcomes of your life experience. Yes. How flipping good is that? It's like, it's like I honestly say all the time, it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it, and it's what you do with it. You can choose to buy into drama, get into stories, and all of the things. I don't. I used to, don't get me wrong. In my 20s, holy moly, I was all up for a good story. Now I honestly notice how it makes me feel. And if something makes you feel icky, then don't pay attention to it. Get out of there as quickly as possible. And even if it's a conversation, it can be a conversation with someone. If they're talking to you and it makes you feel yucky in the belly, get out of there. You have every right to protect your energy always. Always, always. So, what are you doing for you to start your day every single day? So, for me, that might sound like a lot to commit to. Man, I've got more. The other thing is, I'm going to listen to a podcast every day, not a whole podcast, but if I'm driving, I was actually going to write, and I wrote all this down. I was going to write that I'm not listening to music and I'm only listening to podcasts for the next 30 days. But if there is one thing, and it comes up in kinesiology a lot for people, if they need to make an energetic shift of what comes up, play music. How much can music change your mood instantaneously? So find your favorite song. Find, whatever it is that or it could be a song that from like a really cool memory. Play it, blast it, shift that energetic state. It will shift you super, super quick. So I'm committed to doing those things every single day for the next 30 days because I know that in doing that, it is going to set me so far forward to where I currently am. One of the other things that came up, I actually don't even remember where it came up today, but I'm going to share it because it's relevant, is that you need to track whatever it is that you're doing. So if it's a weight shift, track it. If it's your business and building a business, track it. It doesn't even matter. You could be brand new or not have any QLAs or not have any new customers. And so you're like, well, I don't have anything to track. That is so not true because you need to be tracking how many people are you connecting with every day? How many people are you putting into our testimonial group? How many times are you going and commenting on other people's posts? How many times are you commenting on our testimonial posts? How many times a day are you reaching out to people? How many scans are you doing a day? How many presentations are you doing? How many people are you inviting to a presentation? That's the numbers. That's the real numbers, right? So you can be tracking those numbers every single day. I have this little picture here of the supplements because it's remembering to be a product of your product. Do your inner voice scan. Sit and do some mindfulness. Get moving. Start exercising. We all have excuses as to why we can't do things. Even when my husband was away, I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'll just exercise in the afternoon. No, you won't. That's a big fat lie. I hate exercising in the afternoon. If I don't do it in the morning, it doesn't get done. I might go for a walk, but I'm not doing any hardcore exercising, I can assure you. So just be really honest with yourself and get it out of the way. You might not feel like doing it in the morning, but let me tell you, once it's out of the way, you'll feel really proud of yourself. Sets you up for your whole day. Take your supplementation, be a product of your product. Make sure you ground. Get your feet on Mother Earth. That's really important as well. So I hope that they're some easy but doable reminders for you. I'm just going to check the chat as we go. All right. Read what from the back? The book? Oh my gosh, stop it. You know what I do, don't you? I never get to anything else. Ah. And in fact, I always, as I've said even on many times on this call tonight, is it's not what happens, it's what you do with it. Our beautiful leadership team at the moment, we have channeled, the beautiful Amanda 80 has created affirmations for the leadership team of what it is as a leadership collaborative we are attracting and wanting to bring into our space. And we've channeled a playlist. And so we're doing that work for our collective as well, because we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome and that we bring in lots of positive energy into our team. So, there's lots of things that you can do. So good. First thing to do every day is flower scan and then inner voice with mind sync and run scans on myself. Yes. Definitely need to commit to consistency every day. Tracking, right? There was something, I was thinking about, I have a goal for my weight release and I have a goal as to when it needs to be done by. And I'm like, so I'm going to be like 100% honest with that. When I first thought of it, I was like, meh. So I go on my tangent of I know what to do and I just get doing it. But I'm like, no. What we're going to do is we're actually going to work it out from today until the end date of when I want the goal by. And then I'm going to work out what weight release that looks like. And then I'm going to divide it into either probably weeks because I wouldn't weigh myself daily. I only do it weekly. But that's how you manage to be able to track it and to keep consistent, right? Is to know those numbers. And when you know the numbers in your personal life, you can know your numbers in your business as well, no matter what it is that you're focusing on. Because when you're not getting to the result that you want to get to in your business or in your weight goal or in whatever that looks like for you, you can then go back and look at your tracking and go, I've brought on, one customer this month. Okay, cool. How many people did you reach out to? How many people did you scan? How many people did you invite to a presentation? Anything, it doesn't matter what it is, it's a numbers game. All right, so the question is, what changes are you willing to create for you? What are you willing to commit to make those changes of what you're wanting to achieve? And so I'm just going to stop sharing the screen for a sec so that I can jump into my scanner. Please feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you have any questions around the topic of what we're talking about tonight. I just want to pop into MindSync. Don't ask me why it's still in the old, hang on, let me come back to you guys. Why it still looks like the old one at the minute, I don't even know. I just haven't changed it over yet. On my phone, it's the new version, but on here, it's the old version. So I have recorded mine and done all of the things, but let me just go in and I just want to see based on the affirmations. Okay, I'm just testing here. Meet again. So for those of you who are not sure which music to back it to, Meet Again is what's come up for us tonight. So you can simply go to custom 120 seconds and then hit record. You can read out the affirmations that I'm going to put into the group and you'll have it back to, once you've chosen the music, Meet Again. The other thing that you can do, if you feel this aligns better, is that you can actually hit inner voice and it will actually send your inner voice tunes to back that as well, to back those affirmations. It's really up to you. But that's what's come up is Meet Again. So let me just see if I have any questions in the chat. How many men are involved in Solex to date? Oh, good question. I don't know how many distributors Solex has total. I did know the figure, and if I had gone to leadership retreat, I would know the up-to-date figure, but I didn't go. I think there's active there would probably at least be 300 or 400, I would say. Predominantly in the US, we have some pretty high-ranked men in Solex over in the US. There's a number of them that on the incentive trips. There was probably on the last one that we went on, and I'm talking qualified, probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 or 7 out of probably 30 of us. So it's probably, 30, 40% were men. So yeah. So I hope that helps. So yes, I'm going to leave it there for tonight, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that. We have some amazing things coming up. We are almost ready to launch our distributor portal, which I'm super, super excited for. I know I keep saying it's coming, but I promise you we are getting closer. We are getting that close that I almost changed tonight's call for it to actually be launching that, but energies, I don't know what it is about it, but I know that when guidance tells me to do something or not to do something, 80% of the time I listen, and this was one of the times I listened and said, okay, I'll hold off. So I've held off on launching it. I think we're going to have one special night where we have a bit of a celebration. I'll get everyone on and I will walk you through every single piece. But the beauty of that is that when you onboard someone, you literally just send them to this particular website that has a code, like a passcode to get into it. So it's not for the public. It is only for our collaborative, and it will be everything that they possibly need to start their own business, and it'll be like a follow your own journey type of one. So whether you're here for the supplements or whether you're here for the scanner, your journey will be personalized specifically to that. So that's really cool and really exciting. So I hope that some of you can join us on Saturday. We would love to see you up at Mooloolaba. I will be there, and I hope to see you all then. So thanks, everyone, and good night. Don't forget to comment in the chat. See you guys.